You are not broken. You are not mentally ill. You are not chemically imbalanced. You are not a diagnosis waiting to happen. You are a human being who has never been taught how to think. And there is a difference, a significant, life-altering difference between a mind that is sick and a mind that has never been given the right tools. Philosophy gave humanity those tools 2,000 years ago. You have been ignoring them and paying someone $200 an hour to tell you what Seneca wrote for free. That is what we are talking about today. The ancient philosophers did not have therapy. They did not have antidepressants. They did not have wellness apps or journaling prompts or breathing exercises repackaged as healing. They had one thing, a clear, cold, systematic way of looking at reality and deciding what to do with it. And it worked. Not because it was comfortable, because it was true. Zeno of Citium founded Stoicism around 300 BC in Athens. He lost everything in a shipwreck. His cargo, his money, his entire livelihood gone in one moment. He walked into a bookshop, he read Socrates, and he decided that the only thing worth building was a mind that could not be shipwrecked. He did not go to therapy. He did not process his trauma. He did not spend years unpacking his feelings about the cargo he lost. He built a philosophy, and that philosophy has outlasted every empire, every war, every civilization that existed when he was alive. Your problems are not new. Your anxiety is not unique. Your confusion, your emptiness, your inability to move forward, every single one of these has been documented, analyzed, and solved by people who faced conditions you cannot imagine. The question is not whether the answer exists. The question is whether you are willing to look somewhere other than a waiting room. Here is what philosophy actually does, and why it works when everything else has not. First, it separates what is real from what you have invented. Your brain is not a reliable narrator. It catastrophizes. It personalizes. It takes neutral events and assigns them meaning they do not have. Someone did not reply to your message, your brain files it as rejection. A project failed, your brain files it as proof of your inadequacy. A relationship ended, your brain files it as evidence that you are fundamentally unlovable. None of that is real. All of it is interpretation. Seneca wrote in his letters, and he was writing to a friend, not performing for an audience. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Not sometimes, not occasionally, more. As a rule, philosophy's first job is to show you the difference between the event and your story about the event, between what happened and what you decided it meant. That distinction alone, practiced consistently, eliminates more suffering than most people experience in a lifetime of therapy. Second, it gives you a framework for what you can and cannot control. This is not a motivational concept. This is a cognitive tool, and it is the most practically useful idea in the history of human thought. Zeno built Stoicism on one foundation. There are things within your control and things outside your control. Your opinions, your decisions, your responses within your control. Everything else not. Not partially outside your control. Not mostly outside your control. Completely, entirely, permanently outside your control. The moment you internalize this, genuinely internalize it, not just intellectually understand it, your relationship with anxiety changes permanently. Anxiety is what happens when your brain tries to control things it cannot control. When it spends energy on outcomes, on other people's opinions, on circumstances that exist entirely outside the boundary of your influence. Philosophy draws that boundary clearly. Therapy often does not. Therapy asks how you feel about the things outside your control. Philosophy asks why you are spending any energy on them at all. One of those questions leads somewhere. The other leads to another session. Third, it demands behavior, not just insight. This is where modern mental health culture fails completely. Insight without behavior change is entertainment. You can spend years understanding why you are the way you are, your childhood, your attachment style, your nervous system, your past, and remain exactly the same person making exactly the same choices. Understanding is not healing. Behavior is. Seneca wrote to his friend Lucilius, "Philosophy promises above all common sense, humanity, and community. Not understanding, not processing, not awareness. Common sense, applied daily, in real decisions, under real pressure. Philosophy does not ask you to understand your patterns. It asks you to break them today, not after 6 more months of processing. Viktor Frankl survived 3 years in Nazi concentration camps, Auschwitz, Dachau, and emerged not with trauma he needed to process, but with a philosophy he needed to share. He did not survive because he had insight into his suffering. He survived because he found meaning in it, a reason to act, to endure, to build, when every external condition said there was no reason left. He wrote afterwards that the last of human freedoms is the freedom to choose your response to any given set of circumstances. Not to understand your response, not to process your response, to choose it. That is philosophy in action. That is what 2,000 years of human thought has been building toward. And you have been skipping it. Fourth, it is honest about what life is. Modern therapy often operates on an implicit assumption that you deserve to feel good. That comfort is the baseline. That suffering is an aberration that needs to be corrected. Philosophy disagrees. Seneca wrote, "It is not that I am brave, it is that I know what deserves to be feared." Life is hard, not sometimes, structurally, permanently, for everyone. The question is not how to make it less hard. The question is how to become someone for whom hardness is not a reason to stop. Philosophy builds that person. Slowly, through practice, through repeated exposure to difficult ideas applied to difficult situations. Not through understanding, through doing. So what does this look like practically? Not reading philosophy books and feeling enlightened. Not saving quotes and posting them. Not intellectually agreeing with ideas you never apply. It looks like this. When something goes wrong today, before you react, before you process, before you call someone, ask one question. Is this within my control or outside my control? If outside, release it. Completely. Not partially. Not after you have spent 3 hours thinking about it. Now. If inside, act on it. Not plan to act. Not think about acting. Act. That is the entire practice. Applied consistently, it restructures how your brain processes reality. It reduces anxiety not by making you feel better about difficult things, but by making you indifferent to things that do not deserve your energy. Zeno lost everything and built a philosophy. Seneca faced exile, poverty, and eventually a death sentence from his own student, and wrote some of the clearest thinking in human history while waiting to die. Frankl lost his family, his freedom, and 3 years of his life, and emerged with a framework for meaning that has helped millions of people find reasons to live. They did not need therapy. They needed philosophy. And so do you. Not because your problems are not real. They are real. Because the tools to handle them have existed for 2,000 years, and you have been looking everywhere except where they actually are. No sympathy, no shortcuts, just the truth.